Hello! This is Hooked by Happenstance, and I'm Kendra, and it is Sunday night, and it is time for my Sunday sunrise. The last time I talked to you was last Sunday night, I think. It was the 23rd, and I had a little poem for you about my night before Christmas experience. Since the night of the 24th, morning of the 25th, I have been sick, so I am feeling much, much better right now. I've had several stops and starts this week of feeling like, oh, maybe I'm starting to get over it, and then I'm not. So we're gonna just hope it holds out. But that's why you haven't seen much of me, and I haven't been up to much because I have probably slept more since my birthday than I did the entire month of December, or so it feels like. So anyways, my Sunday sunrise, for those of you that are unfamiliar, you're coming at an odd time because this is week 52. Now, I did not do a Sunday sunrise every week this year, but I did it most weeks, and some did not happen on Sundays, but still, there are very few things in my life that I have been as consistent or stuck with as well as this. So, hooray for me, I guess. Anyways, what the Sunday sunrise is my solution to New Year's resolutions. Last year, on New Year's Day, I made a video where I talked about New Year's resolutions and how I didn't feel like that was practical because you're not going to be able to guess in January what you're going to need in November or December. Like, you just don't know future you well enough, or the circumstances, or what's going to go on to make goals that far in advance. Frankly, there are some weeks where I have made goals and not seen what was coming at the end of the week, and it has been a rude awakening on several occasions, but that is part of this process, is I make these videos where I tell you what my plan is for the week in my crafty life. Some of that is my personal crafting, some of that's business crafting, some of that is related to the channel, Patreon, that sort of thing. But I give kind of a rundown of what I expect to do for the week. And then I come back a week-ish later and I tell you how I did on that list, and maybe give you some tips and tricks of how I think you could go about doing some more things in your life. My favorite method of doing this is the tiny paper big marker thing, where I use a small piece of paper where I can't write too many things, and I try to write in a big pen or leave lots of space so I can't overcommit, because overcommitting is a really, really self-sabotaging thing. So, when we last met a week ago, I was trying desperately to get things finished for Christmas. They were things I probably could have gotten done ahead of time. I just was putting my energies other places, and then I decided they needed to get done. So, I sewed 5 pairs of pajamas for my family. Basically, that night, I actually sewed 4. I sewed 2 nightgowns for my sons, a pair of pajama pants for my daughter, and a pair of pajama pants for my husband. And then my plan was to wake up the next morning, and I was going to whip together like a nightgown, like a skirt that attached like a sweater component, that I was almost done with the sweater the next morning. And I wanted to like this tiered thing with the flannel that matched. And anyways, I wake up on what is Christmas for us, which is December 24th. I wake up and find that my stuff that I had left out, I went to bed at 6 in the morning, which even for me is late. And I realized I'd left out my fabric and stuff, and my cat had chosen to pee all over the flannel that was to become my pajamas. So I scrapped the idea of doing a tiered thing. There was a second piece of just one of the flannels, because they only got one of the 2 colors, and one of them was fine. So I made myself the skirt. I was going to attach it to the sweater, but I was starting to I was really hot. And the sweater component I had made was just going to be way too hot. And really, like, looking back at it now, and once I got sick, I likely had a fever all day that day because I could not cool down for the life of me. Like, really, it's Kansas, and it was cold, and I was walking around in a tank top, like, no worries, on the coldest side of my house, because I was basically comfortable then. So, needless to say, I just wore the flannel skirt that I made, and it was cozy and fun, and it matched everybody's, and everyone was happy with that. So I did complete the pajamas. I was going to be making a coffee cake, which is not sewing related, but had to do with my Christmas prep. I decided to go to bed without doing that, and I actually had my daughter make it. the next morning, which she enjoyed the process because she loves cooking and baking and things, whenever I will give her the opportunity. And so I think it's not a bad thing either to get her kind of started on that being a thing that she does, or is a part of doing. That it doesn't have to be a thing that I do, because I end up with plenty of things to do the morning of Christmas, just because that's how it ends up working out. So she did that. And then I also, instead of wrapping our presents this year, because I think that gift wrapping is a waste of paper and a waste of energy, I had a number of fabric bags because, hello, I make the fabric bags. So I had a bunch of them, and what I did is I just put all the kids' all the kids' presents into fabric bags, and or just hid the things that were too big around our house. And then I made a scavenger hunt system of cards with little clues and their names on them. And we did a fun game, and it's totally going to become a new tradition. And it was kind of spur of the moment, and in part because I had just not wrapped the things previously that this all came about. But it was wonderful, and I'm glad that we came up with that. So I completed that as well. I don't remember if I said I was going to do anything else. Those were the major things that were on my personal list. I got them done. I guess I got that video out, and that was kind of good. I still have vlogs that have to come out. I filmed some stuff during the week I've been sick, but I just haven't had the energy or the gusto to actually get them out. But I think, like I said, I think I'm turning a corner. So let's talk about this week and my tiny list. Now this week is actually kind of funny because it's week 52 of this year, but it mostly is going to take place in next year, which is kind of strange. And for those of you that are curious, I do think I'm going to commit to another year of Sunday sunrises because I have found this an incredibly useful tool for me in like legitimately just having to cut down my list, because when I come to do these and I start writing out the things, it rapidly becomes apparent to me that I think I can do more than I can. That has become apparent to me in many ways lately. I've been watching different people's vlogmases, not in the fiber community, just like other things. And just to see the number of them that end up petering out at some point in the vlogmas process, and them talking about how making videos and doing these things, whatever, that it's just a lot on top of like normal daily life. But then they're showing their normal daily lives, and it is a good reminder to me of how much, I guess, should be expected of a human to do in a day. And I think my brain has a warped sense of how much that is. Number one, how much can actually happen. And number two, how much I should expect of myself. So I'm trying to be kinder to myself and adjust my expectations lower. Not in the idea of like, lower your expectations so that you can be really proud and excited when you exceed those. But more like just lower your expectations so that you can survive and be happier and feel better and not keep getting sick all the time, like is what's happening right now. Anyways, I keep not telling you my next week's list, but that's just what it's going to be like tonight. Okay, so the things that are on my list. Firstly, I have two things that need to get mailed out this week. My Mystery Bag Club, the January shipment goes out this week. They are almost completed and ready to get packaged up. So they will be getting mailed during this week. They might not get mailed till like Thursday, just based on when I'm going to be around and stuff. So don't expect them to show up till next week if you are a recipient of the Snowbirds and Sweet Words Mystery Project Bag Club from my online shop. Also, patron postcards are going to be winging their ways to all of you. They are New Year's cards, and I also realized that I missed mailing them in time with the New Year's holiday, so they won't be going out until the 2nd to all of you. So, they will be working their way to you, and for those of you that don't live in the U.S., it might take a while. I'm sorry. Then I'm going to start something new in my shop for the month of January called Hot and Fresh Daily. I'm looking at it, that's why I'm looking behind you. I have a shelf of bags that I have cut out but not actually sewn. A lot of them are in prints that I've actually already done updates for or whatever, but these bags were never completed. So what I'm going to do is put two hot and fresh bags every day in the shop. They will be going up at 1 o'clock Central Time. whatever that is for you. 1 o'clock Central every day, there will be 2 new bags put up. Those 2 bags will have their price reduced by $2. They will remain that way until the next day or until they sell. And if they do not sell in that 24-hour period, then they will just become normal stock at their normal price. But it is a good way for you, if you are interested in getting a bag at a reduced price, to do so. And even some of those bags, you might find that they are a bag that there are already others in the shop, but I am making another one, and the one that is listed will be $2 less. So, Hot and Fresh Daily will start January 1st. Then, I would like to do a year in review video. I've been thinking on how I want to do it. I have an idea that will hopefully be coming out this week sometime. Then, I have 2 things that are the projects that I actually want to work on, the things I want to be crocheting. I started a new design last night in trying to kind of tie up loose ends for the year. There was a yarn that I committed to using that I hadn't used yet, and I played with, and then I got all inspired, and, you know, the yarn fumes. So, it started turning into something. I worked on it a ton last night, and then I worked on it some this morning. I would like to continue working on that this week and kind of knock that out, because I'm enjoying it to the point where I was just like, it's a very addictive one more row thing because of the way that it is worked. The other thing that I would like to work on is the cardigan I'm making my husband for Christmas. Now Christmas is over, but he knows about it. I am almost out of yarn. I need to get more yarn when we go to town this week so that I can work on finishing it. But the body is done. I'm just working on bottom ribbing right now. And then I think I'm probably going to run out of yarn to do sleeves and the button bands. But that's all I have left on that. So I want to keep that at a top priority because I'd like him to get it while it's fresh in his mind, and also while it's an appropriate like weather for it. So see, it's really not that bad. But I do have to admit that when I went to make this list, I could have filled in every line on that paper, no problem. So, I suggest that you take a moment, think about the crafty things you would like to do this week. Perhaps, I should mention this now, perhaps the thing you want to do is start in on your Let Peachlet Play bingo board for the month of January. There will be a video coming out about this as soon as the internet allows it to go up. So keep an eye out for that. You can already get your bingo board for free on the Hooked by Happenstance Patreon page if you're interested. Also, if you had missed out on the Jolly Joy and Other Junk, where I did a 25-day mystery crochet along with a 25-row pattern where I gave you a pattern a day, and then did a little mini podcast and some, like, there's always like a fun link and stuff. Those are still available on Patreon starting January 1st. They are moving into Peachlet's pattern pile, but they will still be in the 25 segments. So you can mystery pattern yourself whenever you'd like if you sign up at the Peachlet pattern pile level. That is everything. I will see you all next year. It's going to get so redundant hearing people say that. That's like all they do the last week of the year. But anyways, I'll see you all in 2019.